Welcome to Giving Tuesday 2020, the virtual edition. I'm Sana Marion. I'm the founder of Caring Bridge, and I've loved our Giving Tuesday events and gatherings because it's a chance to say thank you for all of your wonderful support. 2020 has been quite a challenging year for all of us, but it's been pretty spectacular in one regard for me, and that's this little girl, Emerson Lee. Hi, Emerson. Emerson was born in January and has made my 2020 as a first-time grandmother pretty spectacular. So thanks again for joining us and enjoy our Giving Tuesday event.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Darren and this is my wife Joanne. We are the parents of baby Bridget, the namesake of Caring Bridge.
Despite the empty arms we experienced in 1997, our hearts are full in 2020. Sana and Bridget's legacy continue to serve people in need. We are so grateful for the amazing Caring Bridge staff as they carry out the mission every day, and we thank you for your continued support of Caring Bridge. It means the world to us and to so many people around the world. Thank you for joining and have a great evening.
Good evening all. My name is Bruce Smith. I'm the current board chair of Caring Bridge and just want to welcome you to Giving Tuesday. While we're disappointed that we can't be here live, we're so fortunate to have an incredible group gather together virtually. And we just wanted to say thank you for all your efforts and interest in Caring Bridge, because you're what enables us to bring Caring Bridge to people during their health journey. We could not do it without you, and we wish you all the best and hope you have a great evening.
Hello everyone, I'm Alyssa on the development team at Caring Bridge. If we were able to gather in person, I would be at the reception table to greet you. But from my home in Minnesota, I just want to welcome you to Giving Tuesday and to thank you so very much for your support of Caring Bridge.
Hi, I'm Josh Martinez. I'm here to ask you to continue your support for Caring Bridge. When I was sick, I had a site that allowed me to contact family and friends. I am a cancer survivor. God bless you guys. Love you.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. My name's Roy, and I've been giving to Caring Bridge my own money since I was 15. I believe in Caring Bridge because one of my buddies had a site, and also my mom worked for Caring Bridge.
Happy Giving Tuesday to all of you. I'm Crystal, and I'm on the Caring Bridge team, and I'm also a proud donor. I'm here with my daughters who have agreed to take a break from their TikToks and help me to thank each one of you tonight for being here. Thank you for supporting Caring Bridge, all the employees at Caring Bridge, and our amazing mission. Now enjoy the program.
Welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're joining us from the comfort of your couch or a recliner. I know this doesn't look like the usual gala that we have, but don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. I'm here at the Caring Bridge headquarters in Eagan, Minnesota for this 2020 at-home edition of the Caring Bridge Giving Tuesday. I'm Kathy Wurzer, in case we've not been introduced. I'm the one that gets up at dark 30 to do Morning Edition on Minnesota Public Radio News. I'm also the co-host of a show on Almanac. It's called Almanac. It's on Twin Cities Public Television. And because I'm not busy enough, I founded a nonprofit called the End in Mind Project, which is all about storytelling at any stage of life. I love working with Caring Bridge. We've had a nice partnership with End in Mind and Caring Bridge. But beyond that, I'm also a huge fan of what Caring Bridge does, because I believe in the power of stories to heal, and I believe that stories, when we tell them, we can exercise our empathy muscles and we grow and come closer together. So I love what Caring Bridge does, and that's why I'm with you tonight. Now, we can't be together physically, obviously. Thank you, coronavirus, for that. But I think we're going to have a great night, and I hope that you are happy and as healthy as possible in this moment in time. Now, enjoy tonight, because this is a celebration of you. It's all about you. Now, you might not know this, and actually I was surprised to find this out, that more than 90% of Caring Bridge funding is from you. Wow. That includes financial donors, patients and family caregivers who have graciously shared their stories, research, and our healthcare partners, the Caring Bridge Board of Directors, and team members. So it's really cool to have all of you together with us tonight for this amazing gala. Now, this is my third year of hosting the Giving Tuesday event, and let me tell you what's in store because we have got a lot of great things. We're going to make this feel like it's, well, like you're in person, that we're all together. First, some people know about a chat function. In case you don't, it might be new. Think of the chat function as the 2020 version of Community. If you have a question or a comment, look on the screen and type it in the chat box. You're going to see a donate button. You'll get to use that as well. With this today being the kickoff of the all-important holiday appeal, you might want to make and in fact, I would suggest you make a financial gift to Caring Bridge. It could not be easier. All you have to do is click the donate button, and through midnight tonight, this is such a gracious thing that we have a matching gift of $100,000 from the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation. So generous of the Schultz Family Foundation. Thank you so much. So, are you ready? What do you think? Let's start. Because most of us spend hours and hours online nowadays. Our eyeballs are crossing. We're gonna make this short, about, I don't know, a half hour or so. Short is good. We're gonna catch up with our friend Luana Ojala, the Caring Bridge CEO, first. Then I will introduce you to a lovely family that has an amazing story. They've been to heck and back. You have to hear their story. We're going to end with a short video from our Caring Bridge friend, David McLean of National Geographic. And I know, David, you're listening tonight, so hello, wish you were here, but we'll catch up again. It's a beautiful video that David has shot, and you'll get to see that. Right now, let's bring Luana onto our set here at the Caring Bridge headquarters. Luana, come on over, come on over. We're going to sit as close as possible here. We're officially socially distanced.
I just took my mask off, so
I was kind of hoping you'd have that lovely sparkly mask that I know you have.
Thank you, Kathy, so much for being here. It's just great to see you. I'm giving you my virtual hug right now, but I know you've been with us the last few years, and it's always been so wonderful to have you here. I feel very lucky I get to see you in person because I know there's so many people who are watching don't get to do that, but thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Oh, as I've said to you before, I am such a fan of what Caring Bridge does, and whenever you call me, I drop everything and come, that's for sure. So, what do you say about this year? I mean, I don't even have words, really. And the patients and the families you're helping, and in such a difficult time, because as you know, you being a caregiver yourself, it's so hard to keep those loved ones who are ill safe in a time like this. I can't even imagine how busy you all have been.
Well, our team has worked so hard to make sure that Caring Bridge is available for everybody who needs it. And of course, we're seeing things that we didn't even imagine in ways that people might need it. And of course, you're going to meet the Goldblatts. They're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm looking forward to hearing from Bernie and Leslie. But it's just, crises on top of crises, what people are experiencing right now. And what we've always done over many, many years is make sure that patients and caregivers have their community and connect to them in ways that they really need to. And of course, that need is so great right now with people not being able to see their families and physical distancing and senior homes and care facilities.
Oh.
And there's so many instances where we didn't imagine that Caring Bridge was needed, but it's really, really needed right now.
I can't even imagine the restrictions on hospital visits as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, your mission then is really underscored by what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that, Sana Mering, our founder, she's wonderful, and I know she's going to be part of our evening tonight, so stay tuned for that if you haven't already seen that. But I will say that she has done such a good creating something that we were made for in this very moment. We have always been about connecting people and communities and supporting patients and caregivers when they really need to be connected. And in this pandemic, which is so devastating, because you report on it all the time and you see the statistics and what's happening in our world, it's ever more important that those families can stay connected during this critical time.
You mentioned the Goldblatts, and we're going to bring them on here in a minute, but can you just mention a little bit about the importance of Caring Bridge to their story?
Well, it's just a really beautiful story of healing. So Bernie and Leslie, They unfortunately both got COVID. Bernie was very sick. He was in ICU. He'll talk about that. Leslie was also sick, but she was at home. So he wasn't able to see his friends and family in the hospital, and she wasn't able to have the love and support of her family and friends in the way that she wanted to as well at home, even though she had milder symptoms. But they have 3 grown daughters. Leslie's mom, of course, they have, and they have this huge network of family and friends from all over the world. And so they asked a friend of theirs, Ellen Sue Parker, who's very graciously agreed to start a CaringBridge site with Leslie's permission. And she wrote these beautiful, lovely updates about exactly what was going on, which their community was craving, and exactly what it is they needed in those moments. And so it really helped them stay connected to people even when they couldn't physically be there. So it was so important that they had that outlet in such a difficult time with COVID.
I can only imagine. I know they have a really solid community, but the online community, as many users of CaringBridge know, can really expand.
Of course, yeah. You know, their site over such a short period of time since it was created has had 85,000 visits, which is amazing.
Wow.
So, you know, people really were craving that information and wanting to support them, but they couldn't do it in the ways that we maybe used to do it before. And of course, CaringBridge has always been doing this, but it just reinforces the value for specific groups of people right now who cannot be together.
You know, I'm curious about the connection part of this. I mean, really, their story, the Goldblatt story, and all the other stories of this past year really underscores just kind of where we are here in 2020, you know? So what do you need to continue to keep folks connected?
Well, the most important thing is getting the word out about what CaringBridge does. And so I really have to give a lot of kudos to our board of directors who are so wonderful, our management team, our whole team really, who has done an excellent job trying to find those efficient and effective ways for people to know about CaringBridge. We're a nonprofit, of course, and so we have 45 people on the team. It's a, you know, we're small but mighty, but marketing is very expensive, so it's really hard to get the word out about what we do. And so, of course, we want to be in the places where people need us most. And right now, that's, as I mentioned, senior communities, when people cannot see each other in hospitals because of all the visitor restrictions. So working with people who can help us get that word out is really, really important. So it's so important, for example, that if you work in healthcare right now and you're a professional, you definitely know someone right now who needs our service, and we'd ask you to please make sure you let them know about CaringBridge as a way to stay connected to the communities those patients and caregivers really, really need.
And you're a technology company.
Yes, and you know, technology and the investments that we need in that area are so great. We want to have features and functions that are easy, that are private, that are secure, so that's very important. Of course, I've mentioned the outreach already. We did something really unique during this period of time as a team too. We continue to improve the product in ways that people want, and we have a lot of research to back and help us understand what those priorities are. But our team is so awesome. We were working from home remotely, and we had a huge product launch, and we launched this thing called the Planner, which is really a product feature that allows you to make sense of the chaos when so many people love you and care about you, but they don't really know what to do. So this planner allows people to organize those errands, transportation, childcare, you know, doing the things that you really need while you're focused on this patient and caregiver. And then it also allows you to ask for financial support as well as meals through our partnership with Meal Train and GoFundMe. So it's been, the planner has been really wonderful, and we're finding more and more people finding value in using that new tool in order to make sense of the chaos.
Thank goodness you're doing that.
Yes.
Right. I mean, we're both caregivers, and it is so hard because you want to try to respond to everybody. You are in shifting sand anyway, right? As a caregiver, and things just can change like that, and you're not sure who's gonna pick up this and who's driving there and what's happening.
Well, and you know, you used to see those folks that would offer the help in person, and you'd have a brief chat, and then you can maybe figure it out. But we can't do that right now. So that's why that's much more important that we have one tool that really helps that family to make sense of the chaos.
I so love talking to you. Before we meet the Goldblatts, tell me what work is needing the most pressing support right now for you?
Thank you for that question, because you know we're asking for donations today, and people want to know, like, what are we really investing in for the future? First thing is technology. It's It's hard to do that, and it's very expensive to do that. And we want to make sure that we're staying with the times with what people need, and also, secondly, getting the word out about CaringBridge in communities who need us most. I would say the third thing is sharing stories, like we're sharing the stories of the Goldblatts today, so that people can be inspired and not have to reinvent the wheel on their own journey, and glean just a little bit of sprinkle of like, oh, I learned something that might help or inspire me. And then finally, we also do research to deepen our understanding of how caregivers and patients need us. We are on this journey to better understand the health impact of what we do, and really try to teach others who have already been through this heck and back, as you mentioned, so that they don't have to do it all by themselves. Those things are really important.
And I am so happy that the Richard Schultz Family Foundation has this lovely, generous gift of matching donations up to $100,000.
Yeah, it's amazing. The Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation has been really, really terrific for us. And for those of you who are listening and watching, I will say to you, thank you so much for supporting CaringBridge. It is so important what you've done to help continue to make sure that we're continuing to evolve and be a vital service. If you are a longtime donor or you're just making a donation for the first time, today is a terrific day to do it because of that match. And thank you to you, Kathy. Thank you to the foundation, and thank you for all of you who have supported CaringBridge, because what you're really doing is making sure that we ensure that no one goes through a health journey alone, and that's so important, especially now. So thank you, Kathy, for being here with us.
I want to thank you because you are a dynamite leader of a really excellent organization. That's a lot of work.
I get to lead a terrific team of people who care so deeply about what we do, so I'm just very grateful for that.
So if this was in normal times, I'd give you an air. I'd actually, we're both huggers. We'd hug on stage, and of course, but we can't do that. So just air hug.
Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
I love Luana. Up next, the Goldblatts. We told you about them earlier here on the program. They have an interesting story, fascinating, and I know you want to go ahead and know more about them, and here's how you can do that. We'll talk, of course, but over there on the chat channel, you can read more about their story right there on the screen. I know we're not going to have enough time to talk to them. That happens on radio all the time, but we have at least about 10 minutes here on the program. I am so pleased that Bernie and Leslie Goldblatt are with us. Good to see you. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. I'm going to try to set this up, so just leap right in case I miss some of the details here.
Okay.
Now, Bernie retired in January.
Yes.
Right? And after 20 years as executive director of the Adath Jeshurun congregation, which is in Minnetonka. That's a pretty busy congregation, too. Big, busy congregation.
1,300 households.
Wow. So you retired, you thought, oh, done with that, we're going to have a great life. Retired, you have the grandkids, we're going to go travel. You motorcycle, is that right?
We do.
Okay. So you had that all ready to go, and then you get sick in April. You had the symptoms of COVID. Did you have any idea that you were going down this road?
I had no idea, and I never expected it.
And how did it start? I mean, did you have the fever and the chills? You remember what happened?
Started with a cough, and then symptoms started to add until I got a fever, and we went to the emergency room, West Health, and they shipped me right down to Abbott Northwestern.
Wow.
I was in a room for a couple of days, and then when I was talking to Leslie on the phone, she tells me later, not really making much sense because I was in distress, and nurse rushed in, told me I was going to the ICU, April 4th. I was there for 5 weeks.
Wow.
On a ventilator and in a coma.
Oh my
an
goodness.
Induced coma.
And Leslie, we should say that, well, obviously, a horrible situation with your husband, but you were also sick?
I got sick the same day. I developed a fever the same day Bernie did. Even though I took him to the emergency room, I was not sick enough to get a COVID test. So I went back home, quarantined, and recovered at home for about 10 days.
But all this time, Bernie's in the hospital.
Yes.
And you can't see him physically.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, what was that like?
It was awful. You just want to be there with your loved one. And I also could not have anybody in my house. Nobody could come and comfort me as well. And I was spending a lot of time on the phone with doctors, getting updates, and not knowing which way things were going to go for him.
And how were your symptoms at this time?
I was pretty sick for 10 days. I was, chills, fever, body aches, loss of taste and smell, kind of, all the boxes checked. And yet I had to keep up with him.
Were you able to talk at all on the phone perhaps, or FaceTime as some people do?
Not once he went into the ICU, because he was intubated and put into an induced coma right away.
And I'm betting, Bernie, you don't remember any of that.
The time in the ICU was 5 weeks of constant nightmare and terror. The little that I can remember, it was just terrifying. And that's documented with lots of other COVID patients. And then when I woke up, I was in ICU delirium. I didn't know where I was. I couldn't move a muscle in my body. I couldn't lift this finger. I couldn't talk because I had a tracheotomy. And I thought I'd had a stroke. I asked, did I have a stroke? I mouthed the words. They said, no, you have COVID. And I went, what's that? I didn't even remember, because it didn't get bad till just about the time I went to the hospital.
Oh my gosh. And there you are, you're in ICU,
Yeah.
and you're at home. I understand that someone in the congregation was aware of Caring Bridge. It was Ellen Sue, right? And
Close friend of ours.
yeah, and figured that maybe this could be helpful because, you're like an island in a sense, and your kids can't visit, and
Right.
wow.
Right.
So tell me about that.
Well, it was actually the suggestion of our rabbi to Ellen Sue and me. He thought she would be the perfect person to do it because I really wasn't in any shape to be doing this. And thank goodness, because she was amazing and a lifesaver, and Caring Bridge was beyond helpful for us, for our family.
No telephone calls, no texts, no emails that Leslie had to answer. And everyone was aware of my status. So it helped them, and it really helped Leslie and us.
So what was that like to kind of feel that warm embrace, in a sense, of this community?
It was just that. It was incredibly comforting. And it was a very active site, not only in the number of visits, but also very close to the beginning of starting this site. Ellen Sue sort of put out an intention, a request of people to hold Bernie in their thoughts and their prayers, and visualize him healing. Really have it be very active on their part. And it really felt like this whole Caring Bridge community was a part of his healing process and his recovery.
Wow.
Leslie, when I was in the ICU, had them set up an iPhone. I was unconscious, next to my head, my iPhone. And she and my family would talk to me and sing to me. But then once I woke up and really started to be aware of things, one of the highlights of my day was near the end of the day, Leslie would read me the posts from the Caring Bridge site. And I would hear all these names. And they literally were from other countries, from Israel, all across the country. My siblings, I ended up on the prayer list of 3 Catholic archdioceses. and a whole bunch of Protestant churches.
Hey, whatever help is necessary.
Whatever help, we'll take it.
You can't have too many prayers.
But when Leslie would read me the people who visited and left hearts, but also the posts, it was wonderful. It really was. It was a real healing act.
And 85,000?
We're past 86 now.
86,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really kind of humbling. I didn't know. I mean, that's not the number of people, because people go on multiple times, to check in. But it's a lot of people.
Yeah, no kidding.
And all these people are kind of connected, which is a miracle. It's amazing.
Leslie, you're a small animal veterinarian.
Yes.
And those of us who have pets understand just how healing having a dog or cat can be. And perhaps, during this time when touch is so important, but you were not able to touch, to be touched. I mean, how did you make it through this time?
My dog, my cat, who's really my daughter and son-in-law's cat, but they were out of the country at the time. FaceTiming with my children and Bernie's siblings and my mother. We had almost nightly Zoom calls as a family, where there would be 12 or 15 of us on Zoom. It was incredible. Sometimes there were nights when we would just sit in silence and people would be crying, if it was a bad day for Bernie. A lot of times, Bernie's siblings in particular would tell stories from their childhood. And especially there was one night when we talked about Bernie as a hero, what he did, as a kid, heroic acts, and how because of this we knew he had the strength to overcome this illness. And things like that. But it became this beautiful nightly ritual. Sometimes we would just sing songs. It was lovely, and it was comforting, and it provided me with a great deal of strength and love.
So really, you became a virtual caregiver, and others around you did the same for you.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's amazing. How are you feeling right now? I have to ask this obvious question. How are you feeling, both of you feeling right now?
It's hard to look back. When I first saw, they recorded the Zoom calls. When I first saw my entire family in obvious pain, it really, I was overcome with emotion. And I have to say that Leslie mentions the word hero, which I'm completely uncomfortable with. But one of my favorite movies is Ordinary People. And the main character survives because the boat overturns. His brother doesn't hold on, but he holds on. I think that's all I did, was hold on. I didn't do anything heroic, but if it helps people understand, just hold on. Don't give up. Then I'm happy for that.
Well, you were holding on, absolutely, but you were also, sounds like you were really uplifted and supported, clearly, by this amazing community.
Clearly.
Yeah. And how are you feeling, Leslie?
Great. I have him back. And in some ways, he's better than ever.
The new improved.
Well, because serious illness changes people. Yes. If you allow it to change you in the way it can, for the good. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like that's what's happened.
It's amazing. Of course, I'll be processing this probably forever in some ways, but in talking to my friends, and I made a conscious effort, it was the end of the summer, to meet people outside, sometimes twice a day, to talk to them. And they asked me what I learned from it, but they also helped me process. And they gave me perspective, and they taught me things that I just wouldn't have arrived at on my own. So the act of healing continues. And I have to tell you, after my head cleared in the ICU, I was filled with this sense of gratitude. And I never did ask myself, why me, or how could this happen? I was just thrilled to be alive and to be able to talk to people and look outside and see the sunshine through the window. Every minute was precious. And it was amazing.
Oh, we are so glad you both are here.
Thank you.
What an incredible story. And really, you're so gracious to share your story with all of us, and we really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Any final word about how Caring Bridge has helped?
Yes. I think there were 3 things that saved my life and are giving me back my life. First, the medical treatment I got at Abbott Northwestern, the wonderful caregivers there were amazing. They saved my life. Then I went into the rehab program. That was 2 months. 2 months at Courage Kenny, where I had to learn everything again. I had to learn to walk. I had to learn to think. I mean, we went through cognitive therapy and just all these things. So they were giving me back my life. And I think the third leg of the stool is Caring Bridge. Caring Bridge was essential in my survival and in my healing. And it's amazing how they worked in unison, and any one of them without the rest would be lacking. But Caring Bridge was an essential part of this whole process. And I have to thank people who support the hospital and Courage Kenny, but also Caring Bridge is so important.
Well said. We obviously wish you both all the best,
Thank you.
continued healing
Thank
and your recovery. And just, again, I'm just so honored that you would share your story with us. Thank you so much, Bernie and Leslie Goldblatt.
Thank you.
Take care of yourselves.
Thank you for having us.
You know, if this was before a live audience, we would all be standing and applauding Bernie and Leslie. So I do this for them, for you, since you can't be here, because that was an amazing story. I completely lost track of time, and I know I said this was going to be like a half-hour program, but that story was so riveting. Wow. So again, thank you to both of them. We have one more thing to share with you. It's a short video, I promise, less than 3 minutes, and it features Caring Bridge users just like you and the wisdom of Dr. Sharon Berry. Now, she's a clinical psychologist at Children's Minnesota and also a member of the Caring Bridge Board of Directors. And I tell you, she puts everything into focus, everything that is possible here at Caring Bridge, the power of community that comes through when you use Caring Bridge. So we're going to tee up that video right now for you, and I'm going to come back and I promise I will say goodnight.
Caring Bridge really builds your community, and community is what makes a difference. Having your community, I don't care if it's 5 people or if it's 100 who really care.
The teammates who have been there to support him, they're the ones he's played with since he was 10, and they've been his community of support in this off season as he's fought his cancer. To see him go out for that first practice was really beyond what you could put into words.
Well, we all have a need to be cared for and to be part of a group. Whether we say we're introverted, whether we never need to be the center of attention, we do need connection. It's the most basic of all human needs.
God didn't intend us to do it alone. In that moment, I knew I couldn't handle it. I could not handle my son having cancer, but I wasn't meant to handle it on my own. He was going to be putting these doctors and these friends and his family to walk alongside us. They've loved on us, they've cared on us, they've stopped by and brought us meals even when we didn't ask them to. They've just done it. They've tried to make this process that's very abnormal as normal as possible and as bearable as possible.
Community works both ways. People feel good helping, and people feel good having that connection matter.
You cannot do this alone. You need to save your strength for your child, for your family, for your work. You are going to be pulled in so many ways, and the more help you get and the more you say yes to people who want to help you, I promise the better it will be.
My hope for the world is everybody has somebody who they can talk to about it or who will step up.
If you're recovering from something, whether it be suicide or cancer or anything, just know that there are people out there who will help you and who care about you. Because on Caring Bridge, no one is alone. No one is ever alone.
That was such a beautiful message. Thank you for that. Well, we are at the end. On behalf of the Caring Bridge team, I thank you for your continued support and making sure that no one goes through a health journey alone. Keep an eye on that chat box, and of course there's the donate button. Now remember, the Richard Schultz Family Foundation has this wonderful gift, $100,000, a dollar for dollar match. Now you don't let that money go to waste. It's right there on the table. You can get that money for Caring Bridge. You just need to press the donate button, okay? So it's a dollar for dollar match, which is fantastic, and we thank the Schultz Family Foundation for that. I'm going to say goodnight for Lawana and for the Goldblatts and the whole wonderful Caring Bridge team. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And one more thing, I want you to stick around for just a few minutes. Stick around for the closing credits. You're going to see some familiar faces on the screen. Some beautiful and familiar faces for that matter. Thank you so much for supporting Caring Bridge. Good night, we'll see you next year.
Hi, Kelly here. I've been working for Caring Bridge for 17 years now. I started working at Caring Bridge because my sister had a Caring Bridge site when she was sick with cancer. Caring Bridge was so incredibly important to her, and it was really so incredibly important to my family. So I just want to thank you for your generosity so that we can make sure that Caring Bridge is available for everyone who needs it.
I'm Jenny Larson, and my husband Michael Bischoff used Caring Bridge while he was living with brain cancer. Michael's words and his voice will always be with us through the How We Heal project. On behalf of Michael, my kids and I want you to know that at the root of healing is love.
Hello everyone, my name is Makisha Nation and I served on the Caring Bridge Board of Directors for 6 years. I love our Giving Tuesday event because it's an incredible opportunity to say thank you to our donors, our supporters, and our families for using Caring Bridge to amplify hope and healing and to support others on a health journey. 2020 has been an unprecedented year, and we know so many folks have connected with us through Caring Bridge and connected with each other. Thank you for making that possible. I hope that next year we get to be in person together on Giving Tuesday to say thank you for your support and for all the work that we are able to do because we're in this together.
Hey guys! I'm so excited to share my family with you. We're so sad that we can't be at Giving Tuesday this year, but we were the presenters last year. And I'm here with my boys, Theodore and Henry.
Hi.
All so grateful for your donations.
Thank you.
Caring Bridge really was there for me when I needed them most.
Hi, I am Dr. Sharon Berry, and I'm a proud member of the Board of Directors and a pediatric psychologist at Children's Hospital Minnesota. I'm very happy to share with you my favorite part about Caring Bridge, and that is the opportunity for everyone going through a health journey to build their own community who will be there with them throughout, provide support and resources. So thank you for helping to build community through Caring Bridge.
Hi, my name is David McLean. I'm a photographer. I've traveled all around the world in my life, but some of the most meaningful times I've ever had are with the people who use and work for Caring Bridge. Thanks for giving me so much hope and love and compassion.
Hi, my name is Britt Francis, and I'm a Caring Bridge board member. I'm a mom, I'm a nurse, and I'm also a Caring Bridge user. This is my daughter Marit, and she was in treatment for cancer back in 2008. She's a 12-year cancer survivor, and I loved Caring Bridge.
Thank you so much, Caring Bridge, for everything you do.
Hi, this is Penny. I'm here at the Caring Bridge office with Karen. We're holding down the fort. Thanks so much for attending Giving Tuesday. Hopefully next year we'll be able to sit closer together. Thank you.
Thank you.